I woke up today in one of those moods. I just don't want to participate in dystopia today. I don't want to go out and work that job another 10 to 12 hours a day, making someone else rich. I really don't feel like dealing with people of today, programmed to punch across and down with their opinions and entitlements spoon-fed to them by algorithms owned by people who say, let them eat cake. I want to live again. I want to go surf. I want to ride my skateboard. But the weather sucks today. And it's all gotten me into a potentially dangerous position. I'm thinking about the past. Damn it, I'm finding myself wistful for a time before all the damage. When I was a 3-year-old Steve McQueen. Back when my brother and I could turn a box into a fort or a spaceship. And believe it. When Christmas mornings in my Spider-Man PJs with my family was nothing short of magic. Back when going out for crappy fast food was an event. When it was fun. And when it had some character before it became just another boring box, serving up boring poison just like all the others. I miss not caring that I had a really uncool Mr. Spock bowl cut, and I miss wearing that creepy magazine t-shirt when I met the Hulk. I miss visiting my grandparents in Hawaii, and the experiences I had there with them that changed me forever. I was really lucky to have grandparents like them. I miss back when I heard Black Sabbath for the first time, becoming a huge Ozzy fan. And what a big deal it was impacting my future to come. I miss that summer before 8th grade when I was a Karate Kid looking metalhead. That summer when I was introduced to 2 albums that changed me further still. I miss those days when I took for granted that being a carefree surfer skate punk was absolute freedom. When I drove the crappiest car I've ever owned to some of my favorite adventures. And I miss the jubilation that came with learning that it was possible for me to defy gravity. Those were my early years when everything was fresh. It was fun and exciting, and most of all, I was full of an optimism and a level of hope I haven't felt since. I know that I can't go back, and if I get stuck being nostalgic, I run the risk of just replaying the old tapes instead of recording new ones. And yet, that's where I want to be this morning, just for a little while before I have to return to the sick, sad world of today. So I'm going to perform one of the Saturday morning rituals loved by many of my generation. I'm going to have a bowl of sugary cereal and watch cartoons. It's not working. I just want to watch the Herculoids, but I can't get through 2 minutes of it without being interrupted by some garbage AI-generated commercial. And this cereal tastes like shit. A mix of microplastics and genetically engineered disease. And just look at this box. Its uninspired design is emblematic of how homogenous our modern culture has become as a whole. It fits right in with current mainstream art and design trends. Focus grouped, corporate-friendly palettes, brand safe, zero personality. Unoriginal and inoffensive to the point of dullness. What happened? We used to care. It's like an architecture. We used to construct buildings that were works of art, that inspired greatness. Now, replaced by bland boxes that all look the same in neutral tones. Replacing human beings with touch screens. And there's no more party room. How about good music that had a pulse? Sure, it was flawed sometimes, but that's what makes it real. Human. You can tell that sinister forces are trying to erase all that when a singer like Freddie Mercury is being pitch corrected. Authenticity is being replaced with more and more cookie-cutter pop stars. Auto-tuned, quantized, algorithm optimized, and dumb. Just as a bonus, we've got AI-generated hitmakers giving us more of the same slop, devoid of a soul, and furthering the great blanding. How about modern film? Repetitive, endless remakes and convoluted franchises milked until all the artistry and originality that made the source material special is destroyed. The modern automobile industry? Cars all look the same now, and I can't tell you how many times I've walked up to a car that's a different make and model from mine, thinking that it is mine just because it's the same color. Yeah, I know there's a few exceptions, but these are the things that came to mind from looking at the cereal box. I'm afraid we're becoming a culture without a voice or footprints worth following. Maybe things were better. Sugary cereal boxes certainly were, and on the rare occasion that my parents allowed them into the house, I'd pore over those boxes, with all their art and spectacle, activities, mazes, comics, stories, cut-out masks, and even cut-out records. I still own a couple that amazingly still play. And let's not forget those glorious prizes included at the bottom of the box. Exciting as finding buried treasure. And believe it or not, a lot of those prizes were actually pretty cool. These cereal boxes were little parties hosted by mascots big on character and charm, and they even had fun backstories and adventures in the commercial breaks while we watched our cartoons. Some of these old mascots that haven't been mothballed are still around, but now they're just kind of pointless pictures. The stories and fun have been deleted. Remember the Tricks Rabbit? Always working a scheme to get a cereal he was constantly being denied.
Here, window washer, have some tricks.
Raspberry red, lemon yellow, orange.
It's the rabbit, and he ate some tricks. Silly rabbit, tricks are for kids.
How about old Toucan Sam? Adventuring in the jungle, following his nose, and helping others to follow their nose, to a delicious bowl of fruit-flavored type 2 diabetes. Fun.
Follow your nose. Snootus Fruitus. It always knows. Kellogg's Fruit Loops cereal. Don't be scared.
And then there's my favorites, those mascots for the monster cereals. I loved these characters so much that if I get stuck talking about them, this video is going to be 3 years long.
Chocolate Sweeties for monstrous chocolate flavor.
Well, I've got berry-flavored sweeties for monster strawberry flavor.
Count Chocula.
Frankenberry.
Hi.
My last example is Fred Barney of Flintstones fame for Fruity and Cocoa Pebbles. Coming from a hit primetime show in the 1960s, they were so popular in reruns by the time I was born that they even started to make new episodes. They were still relevant, but that hype seems to have fizzled out. And I can tell you firsthand, I've never seen my daughter get stoked by seeing two middle-aged cavemen on the cover of a cereal box, or by any of the old mascots for that matter. And that's probably for the best and much healthier. And she's never once begged me to buy a box of cereal, probably in large part because the magic is dead. And look, I hate corporations as much as the next guy. I know all the bells and whistles on the box, the prizes inside, and the vibrant mascots were all just marketing ploys to move units. But here's the thing. They got artists to help, and they created something revered today as part of the joy that came from our Saturday morning ceremony. So in this case, I'm going to say the price for admission was justified. I just wanted to experience that again just for a little bit, and trying to recapture that this morning has been a failure. And I'm probably getting too far into the weeds on this nostalgia trip. I'm probably remembering the past with rose-tinted glasses too much. Some of it sucked. Like there's this one cereal mascot I just couldn't stand. He repped a fruit cereal, those are my favorite, but I avoided his cereal like I avoid breathing the air on day 4 of a comic book convention. But it's bothering me now, I can't remember. Who was that character? I know. I'll call my pal Scott Serkland. He'll remember, and he's always been there for me before.
Scott, this is Kevin. My bike is broken. Can you help me? Over. Yes, but send me a signal so I can find you. Over now.
Star Trek communicators with a range of 1,300 feet. Push button. Twin warp sound. Uses 1 9-volt battery, not included. Star Trek communicators with belt hook, telescoping antenna, and twin warp sound. From Ego.
Scott, this is Kevin. Do you read me? Over.
Kevin, this is Scott. I read you loud and clear. What's up?
Man, I was just having breakfast trying to recreate the Saturday mornings like we had when we were kids. Turned out to be a total bummer. And I ended up stepping on this nostalgic landmine. Started reminiscing about the old mascots and cereal boxes since the generic box my cereal came in didn't have any fun or a mascot. And now it's killing me. I can't remember one of those old mascots. He was called something like Emperor Dumpy of the Citric Acid Archipelago. Ring any bells?
Oh yeah, that's King Yama Yama, the mascot for Fruit Island cereal.
Oh yeah, now I remember.
Yama Yama.
We've got the fruit taste. We've got the fruit and new Fruit Island cereal.
Fruit Island has real apple bits on every island, and real cherry, orange, and lemon taste to please King Yama Yama. Oh, how does it taste? Oh, mighty King!
Yama Yama.
Fruit Island's brand cereal is part of this complete breakfast.
In retrospect, probably not the most culturally sensitive of these cereal mascots.
No, he certainly wasn't. Plus, he kind of reminded me of my drunk Uncle Lou trying to do a bad impression of what he thought Hawaii was like. Not very appealing. You know, I wish someone would make a new mascot to bring the fun back to breakfast.
I think I know what you need to do.
What are you talking about?
Well, if you're the one who finds a hole in the universe and no one else is filling it, the responsibility is yours.
Great Scott, you're right again.
Glad I could help. Let me know what you come up with.
Will do. I better get to work. Over and out.
Over and out.
Alright, I'm going to dig into my well of influences and inspiration to give me some parameters to make a brand new character that would have excited me as a kid. I've always loved the cartooning, illustration, and design aesthetics of what we now refer to as mid-century modern. That being a time period from right after World War II until roughly the end of the 1960s. Those aesthetics were still prominent to a Gen Xer like me, as a kid in the 1970s and a teen in the 1980s, through reruns and various things our grandparents and our parents had in our homes. And just a quick note, this is just for influence. I'm not going to be upset if my character doesn't look like a forgotten relic of the past. And looking back at what was happening during those mid-century years, Hawaiian, Pacific Island, and other Polynesian cultures have become pop culture, especially as Hawaii officially became a U.S. state on August 21st, 1959. Can't believe that was only 12 years before I was born. A lot of you know my connection, my feelings, and my love for Hawaii. So counteracting the King Yama Yama direction, I'll be using a cultural reverence that I won't have to apologize for. Hawaiians gave us surfing, which spawned a punk rock child, and together they swelled into a cultural shockwave. One I've been a part of for just over 4 decades now. In the 1950s and 60s, the space race was in full bloom, galvanizing the masses and igniting imaginations. Feelings still felt by the time I came along, with the space shuttle program and a new movie franchise that hadn't lost its heart yet. Putting all those elements into a blender, the directive I'm giving myself is to make an intergalactic surfing mascot for a fruit-flavored cereal. I think it'd be cool to base his spacesuit somewhat on tiki design, and I'm hoping might give this character a unique retro-future sci-fi feel, building something new with yesterday's bones. It occurs to me that with that statement right there, I'd like to make a case for nostalgia. Not as escapism that gets you stuck in the past, and not as a weakness or a dirty word, but as a compass to build a better tomorrow. I'd argue that a positive way to use nostalgia is to think back to a time when the world felt alive, colorful, magical, and sometimes dangerous, in the best, most exhilarating way. What were those things that did it for you? Why did those things create such good memories for you? How did they make you feel? I think the answers to those questions can be the seeds you plant to make a new fertile garden. I've got to interrupt my diatribe here and say that it was around this point in my process that I started thinking about how the early cereal mascots had a kind of storybook style to them. So it changed my direction from how I originally thought I was going to finish this guy, to one that was more like what I did when I was working in the children's book industry. Okay, back to my thoughts and progress. The modern world and our modern culture is in a pretty dark place right now. Smoothed out, sanded down, everything looks the same, tastes the same, and behaves the same. We've traded exploration and weirdness for safety, magic for homogeneity, character for company guidelines. No algorithm is going to fix that. No corporation is going to wake up one morning and decide to be brave. So who's left? It's us, the artists, the rebels, free thinkers. Those feelings of nostalgia you get are proof that art and creativity changed you once, and it can change you again. We don't need more vacuous content. We need wonder, enchantment, and hope. Nostalgia gives us reminders of when we felt those things, eating from the garden someone else planted. It's our turn now. We can't go back, but we can take what was good and precious and make new things. I think it's our duty, and maybe it's how the world starts to heal. Old artists, engineers, and creative thinkers did it for you and me once. So pass it on. Well, that's how I see things anyway, but I could be wrong. Let me know what you think. In any case, I've finished, and now I'd like to introduce you to Chihu Corlord. His first name, Chihu, comes from Hawaiian slang, and I'll let The Rock explain.
10 years ago, nobody, unless you're from the islands, knew what Chihu meant. Chihu is like our anthem. It's the motivating, Chihu! Like it's the, let's get after it, let's
one,
go,
Dwayne.
let's
I got
go,
one.
yes. It's like you say at graduation and weddings and before you're getting ready to go out and play a game, whatever that is. It's a big phrase to say.
And his surname, Corlord? Well, that's the exact opposite of being a poser. It's like the gnarliest surfer ever. And maybe to get a little further understanding, here's a clip from the podcast Pinch My Salt with Sterling Spencer and his cousin Ryan.
Look at his foot on the rail.
Jeez.
See his foot like on the rail? That's Corlord style.
Oh, he's in it now.
See how he stands in a little bit? That's for Corlordness. But then
Really?
he has to grab it back. He doesn't want to get bucked off by that spray. This is all secret core stuff.
What does that feel like when that spray hits you?
Honestly, it feels like, you know when you're in the mountains and you get like just that fresh, it's kind of like a mountain hit with premarital
Mixed in there.
energies.
I get it.
As a serial mascot, Chihu probably only needs a short backstory to jumpstart his furthering adventures. So, this is Chihu Corlord, surfing the cosmos for tropical flavors and tasty waves. As a matter of fact, he just beat another cosmic surfer at the Triple Crown Pipeline Masters on Titan earlier this year. And of course he did. Chihu Corlord eats kooks for breakfast. Now I want to send this over to Scott to see what he thinks of my design. Scott, this is Kevin. Do you read me? Over.
This is Scott. I read you loud and clear.
All right, cool. Check this out. Over and out. And we can find out if he digs it right now over at his YouTube channel at the Retro Art Lab. Link in the description below. The story continues over there. Thanks for watching. He-Man, you found me! You damn Skippy, Skeletor. I've come to free Lemmy from that insidious stasis field that you put him in. Eternia needs Motorhead albums now more than ever. What? My pal Scott's reacting to my brand new character design for that cereal mascot over in his Retro Art Lab right now. You can see what he thinks this instant. So go on, get. The link's in the description below. Go over there. I'm busy. Goodbye. Eat a bag of dicks, Skeletor! In production now, a new animated short to thrill you with action, horror, chuckles, and blood. Your kind support on Patreon gets you a download of the flick when it's finished, plus more. Details can be found at patreon.com/Kevin Cross. Thank y'all in advance for helping me bring Agent Peppermints to life. Rated R.